Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for March. I'm going to, as ever, give you the key strands to look out for, and then we'll dive deep, so please stay with me, to give you in forensic detail all the key dates and influence which impact particularly on us Aquarius folk. Now this month begins with the Sun and Jupiter in a very special alliance. Jupiter is the planet of optimism, hope, expansion, adventure, higher knowledge, but critically also of luck. Put it alongside the Sun and in the second house, as it is for you in terms of sun sign astrology, well, it's a winning combination. And then add the new moon of the second to the mix and the arrival of Venus and Mars in your sign on the 6th. Wow, it's shaping up to be a really exciting month. Also, we have the spring equinox on the 20th, which is going to see the start of the Western tropical astrological calendar, the first cardinal quadrant, which begins with the sign of Aries. And for you, that's going to see a speeding up in all sorts of strands in your situation. So there are a few of the key details that I need to tell you about more. But if you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Every time I drop a video, you'll get an alert. And also, if you'd like to get your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can do so by subscribing on the link beneath this video. I think I'm pretty unique amongst YouTube astrologers in offering this service. I have been writing them a very long time, and it'd be lovely to have you with me. Finally, if you would like to ascend above this Zodiac broadcast and embrace your personal astrology, you can do so with my special package of a 12-month forecast and your character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth. No two reports are the same. It's totally unique to you and will give you searing insights into the early part of 2023, and there's 30% off. So Aquarius, welcome to your March monthly forecast. That combination between the Sun and Jupiter is really one to savour, particularly for 9 days. Put the new moon in there, we can set our intentions. Now let's say, for example, your financial situation isn't quite as merry as you would like. A lot of people are being hit by the fallout of COVID in some very serious ways. What I feel that this combination can do is give you a sense of belief that you can turn it around. And part of the reason for that is that Jupiter can make us a little bit over optimistic. It can see us kidding ourselves that things are better than they are. But put it next to the Sun and the Moon, we're talking about real levitation. And that levitation is most importantly going to impact on your and my sense of self-worth. Once we feel better about ourselves, we start attracting better things to us. So that's a critical new moon. So what's not to like? Well, Mercury, the planet of communication, back in your sign, is very close to Saturn at the start of this month. And that can see us thinking a little too cautiously, or being so precise and wanting everything to be just neat and tidy that we don't actually do something more flamboyant. Also, Venus, Mars and Pluto come into an exact conjunction on the 3rd. That's very psychological, and I think it could bring up to the surface a long-standing saga over a relationship. It may be with someone you're no longer with. You may have been parted from this person relatively recently, many moons ago, many years ago. It may be even someone who has passed. But your connection to that situation does need to be visited and felt and experienced. It's also possible that if you're single, you could forge a really magnetic, almost fated connection to somebody. And because the Sun and Jupiter are in your second house, remember the second house is the enjoyment of good food, good wine and sensuality. So it could get seriously sizzling quite quickly at the start of this month if things feel cool, or The combination between Venus, Mars and Pluto in your 12th house could bring a relationship that's not working to an end, and money may be something that you need to discuss. And Jupiter may come into the equation along with Venus, the ruler of Libra, of relationships and finding a fair agreement, and Jupiter, if you like, of higher law, and maybe you need to have a discussion. So everybody needs to be realistic around Jupiter, but I really wouldn't want to diminish the innate goodness that this combination has. It really can be uplifting. Also, on the 6th, Venus and Mars arrive in your sign, and they're going to be with you for the rest of this month. It is true that they both clash with your modern ruler of Uranus, and that's going to happen from the middle of the month. I think the relationship between Mars and Uranus will be more potentially brutal, because Uranus is in that part of your situation to do with your emotional freedom, or your a space in the physical sense, like where you live, or the room you have with other people who occupy your residency, or even your neighbourhood, or is your environmental situation in terms of your home not to your liking? You're too near to a road, you're too isolated in the country, you're somewhere that is too crowded in terms of being a cityscape. Whatever it is that you're reacting to, it can come up to the boil between the 18th and the 27th. The difference is, because Saturn and Uranus have been in a squabble, as you know, for much of last year and for some of this year, the difference is Mars takes action where Saturn resists. So Mars and Uranus together is quite a highly tuned combination, and it could lead to some quite heightened emotions, and you may not hold back from asserting your need to do what's right for you, even if it does mean changing something that everybody else thinks you must be mad because what you've got is fantastic, but it may not be quite right for you, and your determination to change it with that combination can be very strong indeed. But the 10th sees Mercury move into Pisces. It's not happy in this area, it's in detriment, but for you it still can help you to use your thinking and your intellect, and Mercury's exalted in Aquarius, remember, around your resources. So if you're wanting to better your lot in that area, Mercury can help you. But Venus and Mars in your own sign are going to give you added sex appeal, and if you're drawing a line in the sand and you're wanting to start afresh on a new romantic journey, even if that journey to begin with is by being free and independent, they are giving you extra charisma. So don't underestimate how alluring you can be with this dynamic duo supporting and representing you all month. But from the 16th to the 20th, the Sun in the sign of Pisces is angling very well to Pluto in your 12th house. All the hard work that you've been putting in behind the scenes, whether it's on yourself, your emotional or psychological welfare, or it is upon the physical plane, but you've been patiently putting in, working into the wee small hours, beavering away on a college course, on creating something that's very imaginative and artistic, or it is to do with your own entrepreneurial venture. All the hard work and perspiration that's gone in over a very long period of time can start to shape up really, really well. Equally, Pluto could inform you that all the things you have been aiming for are actually not going to bring you the gratification you want, and they may ask this combination for you to realign your direction of travel. It just depends on your unique situation. Now the 18th sees a full moon, and this full moon is in the sign of Virgo, which, as you know, is about purity. It can be about making sure things work efficiently and in a well-oiled way. It can be about our health, physical, diet, nutrition, exercise. But for you, this is the 8th house. This is deep, but it's also about longer term finances. So I think essentially Jupiter is also working on your behalf on this full moon. So it's saying that maybe your appreciation of the good things in life in the early parts of this month is having a bit of an impact on your longer term financial situation. Just tune back a little bit. Equally, it may be that if you're so focused on the future, you're not giving yourself permission to enjoy yourself in the here and now. So some kind of realignment can come from this moon, or it could be you are finally going to have a financial breakthrough which you can really celebrate, which would be marvellous. That brings us to the 20th, the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, the first Earth point of the year. This is where the Western tropical calendar begins, the first cardinal quadrant, the first 13 weeks. It's renewal, it's a new beginning, and for you it's the third house, which is things speeding up. It's using your mind, your agility, your ability to communicate so skillfully. And because Mercury is joining with the Sun on the 27th, expect things to really start to travel much more speedily in the last half of this month. But I think in general, you could find yourself working a lot around resources, self-worth. Your love relationships may need some time and effort, and can see some new beginnings, some endings, or some enriching moments that will lift you to the stars. But there's so much to go for, and for me. All the best, Aquarius. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.